This is the community video for March 2025 for my patrons, and the first question is asked by What's Your Damage, you asks, Hey Romer, silly use of my question, but have you thought about continuing the One Piece reactions, or is it just a one-off thing? It will be a one-off thing. And it's more about the dedication than it is about finding the time. I think you can mix together the both. I don't know if I can dedicate a time slot to One Piece, or can I dedicate like a lot of time to watching One Piece right now? Not just because there's a lot of episodes, it'd be any anime, because we do so much stuff on the channel, and I want to make sure that like if I do have some extra time, I either put it into like another project or put it into another part of the channel. And the anime reactions was kind of just like a side thing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, on my Patreon on the $1 tier, I put up a synced up audio of my reaction to the episode 1 of One Piece for the first time ever. And it was just a fun thing I did months and months ago. I think it was like, it was in November last year. And it was basically just a simple thing, one-off thing, that I did as like an extra thing. And yeah, it's just gonna be a one-off thing, I think, for now. I never know what's going to happen in the future. The thing is, like, with my channel is that, like, it's very much been, like, consumed by, like, obviously games and stuff like that. That's what we've been doing for the longest time. And, of course, reacting to videos for Romer Reacts and things like that. But I do have some ideas for other stuff that I can probably, like, keep people posted on maybe in the next while to do some stuff. Anime reactions aren't a bad idea. And I think everyone's been like, you should definitely do them. So that's not a no on anime reactions. I just don't know if we'll do One Piece right away, just because it's a long series and you'd be dedicating a lot of time to it. And again, I don't care if it's a long series. Long series are great. It's the same with a short anime series. It's dedicating time to it, right? Because the last thing I would want to do is like start and do like 10 reactions and find out like I don't have the time to do them or something like that. I wouldn't want that at all. Because we all know what it's like, waiting for someone to like upload a reaction to a series or the next episode of a series, and it could take a longer time. And I don't want that to happen. I like people knowing exactly when things are going to happen on the channel, and at what time and things like this. I am late sometimes. Romer Reacts is late a lot. But yeah, thank you for asking the question though, because I do think that it's important to say to people, because people have been asking for anime reactions before. I do have an idea that we could do it at some point. I just don't want to like give any dedicated time, if that makes sense. So right now, One Piece is a one-off. Christian asks, what are your top 3 favorite songs of all time and why? Jesus. I'm only saying Jesus because like I probably should have thought about this, but I don't like reading the questions beforehand because I think it's more fun that way. Be Quiet and Dry by the Deftones is one of them. Jesus, this is really tough. Be Quiet and Dry by the Deftones, yes, for sure, is one of them, for sure. Another one would be maybe, I'm trying to think now, which is my... Oh my god. It's such a tough question. Yeah, Be Quiet and Dry by the Deftones for sure. Feathers by Coheed and Cambria is probably another one is in the top 3. Coheed and Cambria, my favorite band of all time. And a third song, I would say maybe Far by Coheed and Cambria. All of my trust was given to you. That's so good. So those 3 are my favorite songs to say of all time. Now, if I think of another song later on, I might add it to this because, like, it's a very tough question now. In terms of like favorite songs of this era, I would say like it's probably like "Girls So Confusing" by Charlie XCX, "Not Strong Enough" by Boy Genius, and I recently heard "Virtual Angel" for the first time, and I thought it was fantastic. So those are probably like my favorite like modern songs, I suppose, maybe. Yeah. Those would be my picks. Thank you so much for the question, Christian. S. Minako. Hey, Calvin, my question is, what game or thing or something new in general that you've thought about trying on the channel but never have? Ooh. I keep saying... I need to... No, I think it's better I don't read the questions before, because I'm always just like, oh, what's the answer? Because then I think it comes more natural, because I actually have to, like, bring it for myself. I can't have time to think about it and, like, formulate a really, like, thoughtful answer. You know what I mean? Instead, I'll just, like, say what's from the heart. I love the questions, by the way. I want to make that clear. I love the questions. What's something I thought about that I would like to... Oh, first of all, Dress to Impress. I want to play Dress to Impress sometime on the channel. I want to create like a separate... I've tried creating separate channels before, but I never really like I even feel like I made the Clips channel and I feel like I didn't have like my heart fully into it, which like isn't good. Because like my heart is clearly in this channel. I want to create a second channel where like I have like a full heart in it, where like my heart is in it and like everything is in it. The clip channel was a really fun idea and it was really fun for like a few weeks, but I was just like, then when I forgot to update it for like a few days, I was like, oh god. And I was like, maybe should I update? And like, it just became a whole snowball thing or whatever. Yeah, definitely I want to play like Dress to Impress. In terms of like other games that I like to play in the channel, I want to play Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, more RPGs I definitely want to play in the channel, for sure. I want to play like the new Persona. When Persona 6 comes out, I want to play it with you guys on the channel, which is crazy because I've always done it by myself, but I think it'd be fun to play with you guys also. Baldur's Gate is going to be playing on the channel, which is something I want to do for a while. But yeah, more RPGs, more JRPGs, more games like that would be like a very fun thing for me. In terms of like stuff I want to do on the channel, I want to start doing like more shorter videos every once in a while. So maybe like the Friday video for where Genshin was supposed to be, like we'll still be doing like Genshin gameplay every week, but like especially if there's events, will be like those time slots will be taken up. But like when we have like a downtime, I'd love to do like more just like shorter edited content. I think that'd be really good too. I hope that answers the question. I'm sorry that like a lot of these answers are probably just gonna be like off the cuff for a lot of them. David asks, hello Calvin, if you could be a video game character, which one would it be and why? I would like to be, let's see, I'm thinking about locations almost, like would I want to be like, you know, a character from Persona 3 just so I can live in that town, which is such an amazing town, or like maybe like Persona 5 or no, Persona 4 Inaba or something like that. But then like, you know, I feel like that's a meme when someone goes, I want to be a Persona character. But I think like, I'm trying to think here. If I wanted to be a video game character, and these are all great questions, they're so good. I think I'd like to choose a game character that there's not a lot of risk, but there's a lot of fun to it as well. You know, there's a lot of fun activities you can get up to without like having like a crazy amount of risk involved as well. So I think something like a post-game Persona character, maybe. Like maybe like I'll play like one of the shopkeepers or something, or like something like that, where like I can live in like those beautiful towns. You know, I could play like you know, the owner of the shopping center. You know, I can play the owner of Juness. You know, something like that. I know it's such like a crappy answer because sometimes people are like, I want to be Mario so I can jump over this, I want to do this. I want to pick a game where like I can like relax and have like a nice life. You know, so something like that, or maybe like. You know what, actually? I'd love to be a shopkeeper in Trails of Cold Steel. I would love... And not during the war. I love I have all these parameters. Not during the war. Not during all the crazy stuff. I'd love to, like post problems, work in a shop, like a vegetable shop in, like, any town in Trails of Cold Steel. I think that'd be really fun. Yeah, that's my answer. A shopkeeper in Trails of Cold Steel. I know it's such a bad answer, but, like, I don't think I'd want to be, like a Mario or a Nier or something like that, because I think I wouldn't be good at it. Hypernova asks, consider you're starting Star Rail soon. Based on what you've seen, what kind of games and characters would you expect to see in the game? I don't know. I think that it's more of a space game. It seems like a space game, like maybe like a space exploration game, maybe planets and stuff like that. So we might see like more of a modern twinge on a lot of characters. I've seen like character trailers last year. I don't remember them that well, but I remember there being like more of a modern twinge on stuff. So I think we're gonna have like more modern characters that maybe have like more modern speech patterns and the way to speak, and so we might have like just like a more modern feel to those characters, if that makes sense. In terms of the type of characters, I'm guessing we're gonna have a lot more that relates to modern media as well, like the idea of like a character that relates to like a gangster movie or a space movie or an adventure movie or something like that. I'm not saying they're gonna be like based on them, but like, you know, I can relate it to it, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Juliana asks, if you had to pick a companion for any video game to survive a zombie apocalypse, who would it be and why? You want to pick someone who's reliable and who like will be just extra tough no matter what. The right answer probably would be like Ellie from like The Last of Us, but like she's very like, you know, a part of her story is that she's very headstrong and she might just leave you behind if she needs to, you know, so maybe not. You know what? I think a perfect companion would be like Eric from Dragon Quest or something like that. Or like, yeah, a Dragon Quest character like Eric or the Luminary. because I can see them like, they go through supernatural monsters all the time, ghouls, beasts, birds, and I really feel like seeing them cutting down those creatures would be like an easy thing for them. So I think like Eric, yeah, pick Eric from Dragon Quest XI. I think he would like be able to cut down all these, or like someone like very OP. Like I have a feeling that like if I went around like in a zombie apocalypse with like a Xenoblade character, I would never die. and they could probably make food, and scavenge for food and make sandwiches and stuff like that, which would be cool too. So yeah, I pick Eric from Dragon Quest XI, but obviously with the asterisk that like I would love to pick like someone from a RPG that could really do some damage as well. Like Cloud Strife would be perfect as well, wouldn't he? Victoria asks, of all the Genshin characters you met in your journey or playable otherwise, who would you want to run into in a pub if you were to walk in? Gamin or like a Mualani or a Yoimiya. Like, but Gamin I think is always choice number one. Just because I think Gamin like is the one that like he's the type of guy that like will buy you a drink and will never mention the paying you paying him back ever again. And it's just like a vice versa thing. You pay for a drink, I pay for a drink. I think he's the type of guy that would like know all the best spots to go to as well. And so like if you hung out with him, he could probably tell you the next place to go, where's the best place to go for food after this. I think that he could also like make you good food the next morning. So yeah, it's Gamin for sure. And he's just such a sweet person as well. He's really fun to interact with in the game. There's never, I don't think anyone could ever say a bad word about that amazing character. He's definitely the one I'd want to run into. Solvix asks, I want to ask you to read much. No, I don't. Books are written work. I love to read. I read so much that most of what I watch of you is while I'm reading. Why I'm reading. So I would love to hear you talk a little bit about it. Thank you. I read manga. I read the works of Naoki Urasawa quite a bit. I'm going through like Soul Eater and Asadora right now. But I don't read that often. I used to read, but I don't read now. And I think like I just never... It never appealed to me, I think. But like what's crazy is like I remember like I was reading 20th Century Boys, and at one point I started crying when I was reading it, and afterwards I was like, oh my god, I cried reading like a written words, which is the first time it ever happened. And I was like, oh, I get it. I get why people like take themselves into these worlds, because you can imagine a whole thing. And I know in manga you see the pictures, but you still imagine the voices and like their actions and stuff like this, and it definitely feels that way. But like really, I get it. So yeah, I read manga and comic books, but that's different, I suppose. Yeah. Malcolm one day says, assuming your channel keeps growing, where do you see yourself in 3 years? Any particular directions you'd like to take your channel to? Yeah, the channel is growing every month. It's gaining like there's never a month when we don't gain hundreds of subscribers, which is great. It's really cool. There's never a video where we don't gain subscribers too, which is awesome. It's so awesome. But I don't look at the subscriber count. YouTube just tells you this stuff all the time, and so another time I look at the subscriber count and go, oh wow, that's cool, and it really like if it turns out like it keep growing, where do I want to see the channel in a few years? I think it's about like assessing where you are and how things feel. So like right now I'm feeling good, but I think I'm gonna feel even like better maybe when I start like really assessing like, oh, sorry for hitting the mic, assessing schedules and stuff like that, and like when am I gonna upload stuff, when I'm gonna record stuff. Where do I see the channel going? One thing I think I'll have to do at some point is condense my entire Genshin playthrough into a highlighted series, like on another channel or something, like upload like highlights of the Genshin series, like episode 1 to 5 all edited into like the first few acts all edited into like one video instead of like over 7 videos or something like that, and make it just like cut out all the like the exploration and stuff like this, and make it into like just like a not like a reaction to the Archon quest. And not because I think that's the way things should be, but I really feel like that's like something that feels like I should do. I should make a channel where we upload all those things so it can be more succinct for a lot of people who want to watch that stuff. But I'll be honest in saying like I've only thought about what's happening in the next few weeks, because there's a big change coming and a big schedule change coming for the channel. And I think it's actually going to make a lot of things it's a lot more manageable in a lot of ways, because right now obviously we're recording 4 Genshin videos a week. Sometimes those videos are 2 to 3 hours long. taking away like one video from that, like, and it's actually not just one video, because most weeks you won't have like big acts or Archon quests for Genshin. And what's going to happen is like, we're going to have like, you know, shorter videos for Genshin on Friday and Sunday, maybe like an hour, and then another one's like 30 minutes. And like, that's like, you're talking about like going from 2 like 3-hour videos a week to like an hour and a half. And while like it seemed like, oh, Calvin's trying to get out of work or something like that, but I feel like we upload a lot. We upload like 20 hours of video every single week, even more sometimes. You know, it's a lot sometimes. And while I love like every second of it, I think it's going to be good to like be able to work on other stuff as well, and to be able to be like, oh, we have an extra 3 hours this week. Let's put it into this. Let's put it into that. Let's do this. Let's try this, and have it be like, you know, that kind of thing there as well. Because it's like, this has been like the most fun experience ever, like playing Genshin from start to finish. While being able to play my other games in the Let's Play slot as well. But I think also it's going to be nice to have a change. It's one of those things that like, if Genshin kept going and I still had literally like a year to finish or catch up, it would be amazing, right? But I think like, you know, sometimes forcing you into a change forces you to look at different perspectives. And in this case, it's kind of, I have no choice but to be like, okay, let's reassess things, how we're going to do this. You have to. There's no way in hell I could get that extra like hours of and the reason I say, by the way, because we're gonna be playing Honkai Star Raid as well, but there's no way I'd be able to get those extra 6 hours every week again, or 6 hours of Genshin every week. It just won't happen. There's not enough content in the world in Genshin like that I would like to play, I suppose, is what I'm saying. But yeah, we're reassessing things like that anyway. Thank you, Malcolm. Ollie says, hi Calvin, my question for you is, what sparked your passion for YouTube and creating YouTube videos? Do you take inspiration from the YouTubers? I didn't mean to ask 2 questions, it's fine. I saw Markiplier play video games, and I loved him so much. I thought he was amazing. But I remember I was in like a community center, and I was playing Call of Duty with like this girl I knew, and she was really funny, and I wouldn't stop talking. And she turned to me and said, she was like, you know what? You should be one of those video game guys on YouTube. And I was like, okay. And I got a capture card that year, and it wasn't just because obviously like it was a mixture of like Markiplier inspiring me, but then someone being like, oh, you could do that. I was like, oh, it's like a combination of the two. And really what like changed my whole channel was because I thought that like to be a YouTuber you had to do a few things, and if you look at my early videos, you can see that there is like it's bad in some cases, where like a lot of YouTube was like, this is the worst thing ever, and I thought I had to be that. And you'll see old videos, I'm like being very like rude about some stuff and things like this. And I'm choosing like jokes where like they go on for too long because I have to be rude about something. Where in other cases, it's like, I think I watched Epic Name Bro and I was like, now, okay, being your true self is the best idea for this stuff. It's the best idea. And that's what like got me into like doing all this stuff as well. Yeah, thank you. And I also asked the question like, what game would you take on a desert island? And we got a few answers. And What's Your Armor says I would like to bring Gary's mod. I would have said Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing New Leaf otherwise, but I still don't have much experience with games. It's what I thought at first. I know Gmod has a ton of different maps inside it, along with almost any character you could be. I played a lot of Lumine back when I played Gmod a lot. It was hilarious. The Backrooms map is terrifying alone, and it's hilarious with people. So it's like this endless amount of like content, I guess. You can do like it's over and over again, especially if you're playing with people, and if they have internet on the island as well, you're doing really well. But yeah, you can play like constantly and over again. I think that like, I can totally get that, because I remember during the pandemic, like the biggest game for me at the time, which is a game I haven't touched since the pandemic, was like Fortnite. Like I played Fortnite all the time just because you could do it over and over again. And since you're playing it with friends, it's like it never gets old. So I totally get that. And I haven't actually played Gary's mod, but I used to watch a lot of Gary's mod with Markiplier. And I do think it's quite a good choice, because again, it's almost like an endless game. Victoria says, probably Stardew Valley or Baldur's Gate 3, something with a lot of replayability where things can change each playthrough. Yes, I think that's a good idea as well. I always say like Elden Ring for me, and it's similar to Baldur's Gate 3, not because of replayability, because there's a lot to do. In terms of replayability, like to relate to you, like I don't know if I have many games that are like, I think Elden Ring is a replayable game because you can do any different weapon all this time as well, every different weapon. But Baldur's Gate 3 I think is like a perfect game to take with you as well, because you can figure out stuff constantly. You can do a lot of like, you don't have to like rush yourself. Yeah, I think it's good answers. And for me, if I had to pick a game, it would be either Elden Ring or like Shenmue or something like that. I think so. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I had a really fun time answering some amazing questions and asking some funny questions. And with that, guys, I want to say thank you so much to the Never Can Repay the Baby Gangsta tier on Patreon. That being Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Radish and Nusta, Death Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Colorbow, True Peanut Butter, Alpaca Juice, Peter Shelson, Heck, and Leanne. I'll see you all so soon. Bye-bye.